Are you looking to learn how to make felted wool balls in mesh colors? If so, then you're on the right video, because today I'm going to teach you everything you need to know and more. Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video, how to make felted wool balls in mesh colors. My name is Iceland, and on this channel, Snowflake Forest Felting, I share needle felting videos, have needle felting tutorials like this one, and share product reviews from time to time. So if you're new and this interests you, please consider subscribing. And if you want to know more about anything you see here on this channel, be sure and check the links down in the description below this video, or leave a comment. I'd love to connect with you there. Before we get started in today's video, if you are looking to make felted wool balls in a solid color, I have that video as well on this channel, and I'll be sure and link it down in the description below. You can go and see it there. And if you're looking how to make felt wool balls for dryer balls, I have two different videos as well on this channel, and I'll link them below, one for a regular size and one for a jumbo size dryer ball. You'll see I use the mesh technique on both of those. So for the felt balls that we're making today, you might want to make these for maybe an essential oil wall hanger where you can just drop an oil on them. Since oil is stained, this would hide that pretty well, not completely, but better. Or if you maybe want to make a baby mobile with some of these, or a felt palm bouquet like we'll be making next on this channel. These little felted balls work perfect for that, so make sure you're subscribed and your bell notifications are on so you're notified when I upload next. Now to begin, I'm going to show you everything you're going to need to make these. You're going to need the wool colors in your choice that you want to work with. I'm going to be doing 4 different mesh colors, so get them lined out. And then you'll also need a foam surface, your needle felting needles, and scissors to finish up your project, or in case you need to add any wool to them at the end. You will also need a sink with warm running water and cold water, some dish soap, and a bowl, plus some extra towels on hand because it can get messy, and an apron if you want to protect your clothes. Again, you guys, I'll have all this linked down in the description below for you, and you can learn more there. Now, let's get to felting. Now take your wool and mesh it in the amount you want it to be meshed. And if you want to learn anything more specific about meshing wool, I do have a video on that, and you can check it down in the description below. I'll have it linked there for you. I'm going to sort my colors out here. I'm doing 4 different color schemes. You can do as many as you would like. Start pulling your wool apart, and then just continue this until you're done with all your colors. Then once all your wool is meshed, you're going to want to take it and put it into the amount of balls that you're going to need. I'm doing a dozen, so I'm going to do 3 of each color, and I'm going to do them anywhere between an inch, inch and a half in size. You can do them even 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, however giant you want felt palm balls to be. I'm going to keep a little aside from each color in case I need to add some to the ball after I have felted it some. So then the color combo will just blend right in. I try to felt just a little bit extra always in case of error. Squeezing them kind of begins to give you an idea of what they'll come out to in size. Just like so, and how they'll look in case you're thinking you need to mesh your fibers more. I'm going to set those aside with my felting mat, needle, and scissors for once we're done with the balls. Alright, now you're going to move all of your balls to the sink. Okay, so you're going to want to take your bowl and get some warm or cold water in it, depending on how your faucet works. I'm going to put warm in my bowl and use a little bit of cold. That can go down in your sink. Take the first amount of wool you plan to turn into a ball. Roll it between your hands a little bit, just as if you had a marble in there. Start to make it round. You're going to want to plunge it into the warm water. And now take a little bit of the soap, drop it onto your ball, and start rolling it in your hands. It's going to want to fall apart at first and not look very round and pretty misshapen. Just be patient with it and continue this process. Apply constant friction. If you need to use a little more soap, do so. Then you want to take a little bit of cold water, or the opposite of what's in your bowl. Rinse it. Rinse the water out. Should still be soapy some. And then continue that process until you have a little felted ball. Alright, so I wanted to show you here. If your little felt ball is starting to get any cracks in it while you're felting, there's two ways you can deal with that. You can take your extra needle and foam pad and wool. Simply take a small amount of that wool in the color scheme and place it over the crack and felt it on. And then be super careful when rolling it. There you can see that will begin to cover the crack as you continue felting. Or if you know your ball is not large enough and you need to add on wool, while you're adding the wool on, cover up those cracks and pull the wool across the ball so it's really spread out and it doesn't form a crack as well while you're felting it. And then place it back in the warm water or cold water. Go ahead and just give it a dip and roll that. And there you can see that begins to soften the ball out. And then just continue doing this until all your balls are made. After you have rinsed it and wrung it all out, you're gonna see you have a pretty firm felted ball. When I squeeze it, it doesn't smash too much. You can make yours as firm as you'd like, but you definitely don't want it squishy. So now you can set your ball someplace to dry for 24 hours and get started on your next set of balls. So just repeat the process until they're all done. Alright, now that all your felt balls are dry, it is time to give them an all close-up look over. You're going to want your scissors now as well. And get out your felting needle. And so for the most part, they should be felted and pretty ready to go, depending on how fuzzy you want them to be and perfect you want them to be. If you have any spots like this where there's a huge crease, depending on what you're going to do with it, it may not matter. If you were putting it on a wire stem, this probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. You just use that side to put it in there. But if you're looking for like a certain color combo for the front, you want to hide that. You're just going to take a little bit of wool in that color and felt it right over that crease. Be super careful when you're doing this. Go straight up and down so you don't break your needle. Your object's going to be really firm. And just like that, you'll have fixed it. Repeat this process for any of the other balls that may need it. And then once you've finished that, you're going to want to trim all of your balls completely. Make them nice and smooth. If you need to go somewhere where you can see in the lighting better or over a trash can, I advise you to do so because this can get a little messy and you'll want good lighting. And then just continue this until all your balls are completely trimmed up. And then once you're finished trimming all of your felted balls, you are completely done making them. If you want to turn these into a felted palm bouquet like I am, make sure you're subscribed and your bell notifications are on. I'll show them all to you here a little bit closer. Alright, that's it. like that's everything you need to know to make felted wool balls in mesh colors and be a fiber artist too. I hope you learned something new today. If you did, please be sure and give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed yet. And if there's something you'd like to see me felt next, drop it down in the comments below. I might just make it. Thank you so much for watching. As always, happy felting. Bye! Now to begin, I'm going to show you everything you're going to... Okay, so one thing that I thought would be fun to share about trimming your little felted projects outside. The extra fibers can go floating into the wind and the birds will use them to make their nests. And getting some fresh air is pretty important too. You wanted to be in my video?